Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Leadership Interview Series, How to Create a Life Worth Living. My name is Evrim Numanoğlu Özgen. I am the co-founder and CEO of Institute of Global Leadership. And it is an organization based in the UK focusing on leadership development and providing virtual trainings. I have a very special guest today. I'm so excited that you get to hear from one of the best in the world, Michael Strasner. Michael, hello, welcome. How are you?
Good morning. Hello, I'm doing fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. Michael has been in leadership, emotional intelligence, and transformational leadership work for more than 34 years. He has trained and coached and mentored thousands of people, and I'm so blessed and honored to be working with him as our mentor and coach at Institute of Global Leadership. Michael, one of the best pieces that I learned from you is having a vision in life and committing to that vision. Can you please tell us more about why does it matter? Why does it matter that leaders have a vision in life?
Well, first of all, a leader without a vision is like a ship without a rudder, or a ship without a sail. Leadership, the whole idea of leadership is to cause something or create something in life that wasn't going to happen anyway. There are leaders and there are followers. There are people that wake up, they jump out of bed, and they think about creating things, creating, new worlds, new opportunities, new businesses, new possibilities. They do it in medicine, they do it in science, they do it in engineering, they do it in technology, they do it in communities and civilizations. So leaders are people that wake up, get out of bed, and think about something beyond the daily survival to-dos. We all have a list of to-dos. I've got to go to work. I've got to get the kids ready for school. I've got to make breakfast. I've got to go to the grocery store. Then I've got to run to the dry cleaner. I've got to vacuum my rugs. I've got to clean my bathrooms. We all have these lists of things to do in our everyday life, in our everyday living. But that's not a vision. A vision is more like a purpose. A vision is the why you're doing what you're doing, or aspiring to create something that gives your life purpose and meaning. So, when I started my leadership training at 21 years old, I was in college, I was taking classes, and I remember one of the dominant thoughts I had while I was sitting in the room is, what does this have to do with my life? I was in philosophy class, and honestly, I loved philosophy class because, we would sit there and the teacher would ask us questions and then say, so what do you think, what do you think this philosopher meant by this? And so we would have a discussion, and there would be a debate, and then someone would have this point of view, someone would have that point of view, and we would all be engaged in the conversation. But here's the reality. What was that going to do for me? Was that going to get me a job? Was that going to qualify me to be an expert in a career? Was that going to, per se, have me have some kind of a breakthrough in my life that would, have me create the results I want? No. So I loved philosophy class, but that class, even though it was something I loved, had absolutely nothing to do with what I want to create in my life. Now, I went to the training at the same time, this leadership training that you're offering. I went to the training at the same time I was in school, and it was like night and day. Oh, so this training I'm taking, this leadership training, was like a life university. It was like life university. Here are the trainings. Here are the classes. You take this one, this one, and this one, and it will set you up for the rest of your life. And I took that 34 years ago, and what happened is I completely found my purpose, my vision, to be a leader, to make a difference, to unify my family, to become an entrepreneur and develop new services and products and ideas, which eventually led to me owning companies and me hiring people and training people and developing people and writing books and doing all these amazing things. And that's what leaders do. So I've been fueled by this vision, which really is a purpose, a passionate purpose that has you get out of bed in the morning. You said creating a life worth living. How do you create a life worth living? By having a vision. How do you do that? You discover, you do the work to find out what really matters to you.
That is powerful. Thank you, Michael. And I so relate to that.
How's that for an answer to your question?
Wonderful. Amazing. So of course, this is such a deep topic, and I love your answer. And I relate to what you said 100%. My biggest gift from the training that I did in San Diego in Hardcore Leadership was truly connecting with what I wanted in life. The things that I were working on were things that I believed that I had to do, I was supposed to do to be a good mother, a good leader, someone, a good entrepreneur. So I so relate to you. And I have another question. This comes up a lot in my conversations with people. So some people know, like they know that they get to connect with their vision and they have that desire. And I sometimes sense that frustration and disappointment that they don't know what it is, and they have gone through that and this and so many things. So what would you say to those people who are searching for their vision?
Well, most people don't put the time, energy, and work into creating a vision or discovering one. What they do is it's like what they do with everything in their life. Most people are experts at what I like to call bitching, moaning, and complaining. In other words, journalizing and editorializing, commenting on their status in life or their relationship. Like they'll complain about their relationship. They'll complain about their job. They'll complain about the government. They'll complain about how much money they have. They'll complain about their body shape. Everyone complains about things, and we're experts at complaining. But what we have lost, and we can get it back, is the ability to move out of being what I call a self-righteous spectator into a committed participant. Imagine if you move into a participant role versus the journalist who's commenting on the game. Get into the game. So how do you lose weight and keep it off? Do you lose weight and keeping it off by looking in the mirror every day and saying, I'm fat, or I'm ugly, or I hate myself? Or, wow, I remember, 20 years ago when I used to be so hot, I remember 20 years ago where I used to be in such good shape, you should have known me then. In other words, if you go through your life editorializing, commenting, complaining, bitching, all of that, but not doing anything, then nothing changes. So it's like anything else. You've got to stop the insanity. Get off of the treadmill of life, the hamster wheel that you talked about the other day, by the way. Get off the hamster wheel. So stop and look and connect with what really matters to you. Imagine life is a blank canvas, like a painter. Imagine life is a blank canvas. You have a palette, and your palette has infinite colors. There are no limits. You have a kaleidoscope of colors. Your life is completely up to you. You are at choice to create the life that you want. I mean, I enrolled my mother in the training. The same leadership training I did. I enrolled my mother 34 years ago. My mother in her 40s was completely a victim. I gave up everything for you and your brother and your sisters. I had dreams, blah, blah, blah. She's exactly what I'm saying. She was complaining about her life. And so I went to the training and I turned to my mother and I said, hey, Mom, guess what? You can have your dreams come true. And my mother's like, really? I'm like, yes. What are your dreams, Mom? My mother said, I want to go back to college. I want to get my degree. I want to get my master's degree. I want to be a college art professor. I want to teach art to college students because I know they'll be serious about it because I'm super serious about my art. And my mother's saying this to me and wasn't doing any of those things because she was enrolled in her victim story. She was enrolled in I'm an old lady. Can you imagine being in your 40s? And enrolled in I'm an old lady and my life has totally passed me by.
I'm 42. Yeah.
So I enrolled my mother. I enrolled my mother. My mother went to the leadership training. My mother went back to college right away. She got her degree, then she got her master's degree, then she started teaching art in college. My mother became a college art professor in her 50s. Wow. And all of it happened as a result of her going to the training and not just discovering her vision, but are you ready? Committing to it. My mother got that life is not a dress rehearsal. Do you know how many people are living in this fantasy? They're waiting, they're procrastinating, I'll do it later. And then they get into that victim story of it's too late. Well, you know what? Life is not a dress rehearsal. What are you waiting for? Life is now. How do you create a life worth living? By living it. What do you want to do? Be on your deathbed and look back and have regrets and disappointments and I shoulda, coulda, woulda, wish I did? Forget it.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. What an inspiring story. Well, real story. And this is exactly why we are doing these interviews and exactly why there's Institute of Global Leadership and other leadership centers. So our audience who are watching us, listening to us, get to commit to make a change in their lives. Your life might be already great and there's more. So my personal vision is to transform families and to raise abundant children. So parents get to commit to be present for their children and parents get to commit to each other, being in love and trusting and creating trust and generosity in their families, and that expands into communities. And here I want to encourage our audience to truly connect with what your vision for your life is. And I also encourage you to get in touch. You may have questions. That is great if you have questions. And please get in touch and ask any questions. You can comment under this video or email me at evrim@instituteofgloballeadership.com or search for Institute of Global Leadership on Facebook. We will be thrilled to hear from you and support you in your vision. Thank you so much, Michael. This was such a pleasure as always.
Can I add one more thing before we wrap it up? Can I add one more thing before we? I want to ask everybody who's watching this video right now, what are 3 things you want in your life that you don't have? 3 things that you want, that you have always wanted, or would change your life if you had it, or would change the quality of your life? Is it something having to do with your career? Is it something having to do with love? Is it something having to do with forgiveness? Is it something having to do with owning your personal power, finding your voice, taking risks, being courageous? Is it something having to do with your health? What are 3 things you want in your life that you don't have that would change and transform the quality of your life if you had them? What are the things that are holding you back right now from having it? Is it money? Is it time? Is it commitment? Is it belief? Whatever the story is that's holding you back, you can break through that. You can transform that. When Evrim is asking you to sign up and enroll for this leadership training, she's asking you to make an investment in you and your vision and your future. Think of all the things that you are investing in that are not an asset, but ultimately a debt. The car you drive is a debt. It doesn't increase in value. It decreases in value every single day. This is an investment in your leadership, your competence, your passion, your energy, your aliveness, and you can learn the tools and the skills and the steps to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be for the rest of your life. Don't wait. Sign up right now.
Life is now. That is such a perfect place to wrap up. Thank you, Michael. So I look forward to hearing from you, everyone. And thanks again, Michael. Thank you so much for being with us, and stay tuned for the next interview. Bye.